for your punishment, slave.
I sometimes scream out, no. When really they mean yes.
Yes, yes!
And this is why we have the safe word. Until we hear the safe word, we will not stop.
She's not a Christian!
Safe word with Jason Rouse.
Glass tiger kissed me on the neck.
That's sensuous.
These are all very Canadian specific. My guest on the show today, Paul fucking Haywood.
Yes, sir.
I haven't seen you in some time.
Yes, sir.
But you have families.
Yeah, I got a couple
Mormon now.
families. Collect them.
Collect the families.
Got them in some are in suitcases, some are in pieces, but they're there.
Let's introduce yourself here and we'll explain. When I started doing comedy in the city of Vancouver in June of '96, and then November of that year, I'd moved back to Hamilton out of necessity of gaining stage time and just really concentration of comedy clubs in general. And when I went to, I started making my trips as you should, you know, being in Hamilton, go somewhere else for bigger and better things. And Toronto was the place. And it was like me, you, this is 97?
Yeah, 97, our fast track, it was yourself, Gavin Stevens, myself, Dave Martin, Ophira Eisenberg.
John Paul?
He was a little ahead of us, I think.
Yeah.
He was he was ahead of us for sure. Christine Von Hagen.
Yeah.
People like that.
Minnie
Minnie
she's
was,
already had a TV show.
Yeah, she had a show by that time, yeah.
There's a little nest of us that actually are still doing comedy.
Yeah, a 20-year germination.
It has been 2 decades.
Yeah, man.
You know, it was those gigs in the beginning in Peterborough were kind of fun.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because we would go down to Hamilton to we'd take the loser mover. I still call it that.
Yeah, yeah.
Down to see. And you get another.
James Mullinger. Hello, governor. Look at white racism. Hello, mate. Yeah, fucking go.
How's it going, Paul?
Nice to see you. No. Come in, grab a seat. Yeah. Paul Haywood, I'm kind of glad that you're here in a way of you, between the two of you, there's some beats in my life. Like when I just moved back to Ontario and started doing comedy, Paul was one of the probably half a dozen people that I started doing comedy with that is still doing it. Yeah. And we've always kept in touch and had careers. And then when I'd moved to the UK, you were wondering that, is it the King?
Upstairs at the Masons and the King's Head. And
yes.
I want to say this. I want to say this, right? This is no bullshit, right? I was saying this to Steve a couple of weeks ago, that like who runs Yacht downstairs, that I ran this club upstairs in this pub for... I know, so we're here in St. John, New Brunswick, right? And we meet in a pub in Mayfair in London, above pub gig, 10 years ago. Yeah, it was issued like 2006. I ran this gig. My wife was in the front row. You tore into my wife, right, in the front row. Yeah, she's Canadian, right? And you guys talked all night. And bar none, and I'm not just blowing smoke, because I don't talk bullshit, right? Bar none, that night, it was just one of those nights. Rouse was so on fire, it was unbelievable. It was the best. And we had everyone at this club over the years, like Russell Brand before he was famous, and Jimmy Carr and Steve Merchant would come and try out stuff. And that night, when you were up there, you did just 45 minutes of just blistering the whole room. Everyone's on rickety chairs, blistering, right, like they're fucking shaking. But it was such a kind of magnetic, you know, when you're just in a moment where you basically, you know, when you go through stages of stand-up, like you want to get some, you want to get some laughs, and you want to get lots of laughs, and you want to get lots of applause breaks, and then you get to the stage where you get a laugh on every joke, and then you see something like that where you go, they didn't stop laughing.
Yeah.
Like, they didn't breathe.
Absolutely.
And so it was just 4 minutes this, and none of us we're just convulsing. And then you finished, right, closed the night, and it was like how I imagine the end of an orgy is, when everyone's like, ah! And then no one wants to make eye contact. And it was just this weird thing from this room of just hysterical laughter into sudden, like, no one wants to kind of make any eye contact.
I want the shame I want to bring shame on people that we're all
Absolutely.
the same, and we all have a space that we come from, and that I bring them in the worst possible place, and then make them shame them for it.
Absolutely.
You're sick. You're
Absolutely.
worse. You're like me, you pieces of shit.
Turn it right back on them immediately.
Comedy's an involuntary, laughter's an involuntary response. Like you can't fake.
Yeah.
No, it's involuntary. So basically, if you find something hysterical,
It is truth, and
it's pure truth. So
and
if
you
you're
can't avoid it.
hysterically laughing,
Yeah.
it's because you definitely find this shit funny. Like there's no faking it, which is why I have this philosophy that look, we all have comedians we like. We have comedians we don't like. There's comedians who are inordinately successful who we might not like, but you would never describe them as a bad comedian because they're doing the job.
Exactly.
There's shitloads of successful bad politicians, business people, CEOs, bank managers. There's loads of bad actors who are very successful, but there's no stand-ups that are successful that are bad.
Yes.
Because we might hate them, but they're doing the fucking job.
We're after the truth. We're after the truth. You get the laugh first, and then the other hand slaps your mouth. It's like, oh, what did I just do? You just
It's
laugh.
great.
You just stopped yourself from.
I think it hurts when somebody has clearly physically set themselves off to block off anything coming at them.
Yeah.
And they're not willing to stoop or whatever they want to kind of get involved. And 99.9% of the people, that's why the comics will always focus on somebody who's clearly not. And why can't you get on board? We're all having a good time here.
That's it. And it's one of those things like it completely makes sense for your shows to be branded the way they are as Triple X rated, etc., etc. But the unfortunate thing about that, I think, is that if I said to my wife, for example, would you like to go and see a comedian tonight who's going to talk about raping a disabled girl? She'll go, no, absolutely not. But then put her in a Jason Mel show, she will fucking fall about laughing non-stop.
Yeah.
And so it's a shame, actually, just that you have to do it because what you don't want is a room full of people who actually aren't going to enjoy it and just be dicks about it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, the great thing about what you do is the fact that people get caught up in it and they don't know they've got this. Again, to use the orgy analogy again.
You're just going to say that. They don't know what's in them and you draw it out.
Yeah, and no one's told you that you like having 4 fingers up your ass, but then suddenly it happens and you're, whoa, yes, I do like this afterwards. And it's the same thing. You didn't realise you liked it.
This is a family.
It's a lot of...
I released this during lunch.
Yeah.
Okay. But enough about me. It's cool that you made your home here, and but Paul is here too.
Yeah, dude. What's that now?
Wait, do you in Toronto?
Yeah, I just moved to Burlington 2 years ago. Just bought a house out there.
Gorgeous. I was just there.
Yeah.
Burlington is how
Come.
Oh, thank you. Little sandwich here. Burlington is...
Look at the worst sitcom ever. He's charming. He's eccentric. I'm a rapist.
Together, they're Three's Company.
Following Jerry D on the CBC. It's 3 fingers and a dad.
Burlington is good. Burlington's how I hope this place gets.
Keep in mind,
it's
what time
gorgeous.
is it? It's 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and you're drunk.
When I say that,
No, there's no judgment here. I think it's great. I know there's puke on my stairs. I didn't eat fish and chips this morning.
I genuinely have to go and pick up my 3 and 6-year-old. But I am under the limit, just to be clear.
Yeah.
Officer.
Yeah. And I always shit in my own sink.
Anyway, I love where you live as well. I was just trying to say.
Oh,
It's a
so
gorgeous
funny,
place.
man.
It's a gorgeous place.
Yeah, it's a good time there, man. We just got out of Toronto. That's hilarious.
Yeah, I escaped London to St. John. You escaped Toronto to Burlington.
Yeah.
Burlington is utterly beautiful.
Yeah, no, it was,
And
it was
there's
a good move.
nice record shops there. There's a shop called Odd Bods or Odd Jobs. Odd Bod or something. I went in there. I got a John Travolta LP for $4. I got the soundtrack to Back to the Party on vinyl.
Wow.
And I got the litany of stuff I got from this shop was incredible. So yeah. Go to Burlington.
Jesus Christ. I can hear people hanging themselves. Listen to this. Oh,
Jay's going to wipe
what
the
else
mic.
do they sell there?
what was
Boring.
the wholesome all over.
Boring. You don't know my audience, clearly. We got slippers for the dog.
It's a furry dog, and then we blew its brains out.
Well, you've been on the road.
Yes, sir.
You've been on the road.
A bit.
I've just started blocking your newsletters.
Lots of people have done that.
No, but they're great. And I always love seeing people get work, and
But it's an annoying thing because it's a fine line with Facebook newsletters, everything else. I try and have a policy which I don't stick to, but it's essentially there's nothing more annoying on Facebook, Twitter, everywhere else where people. We all have to sell ourselves, obviously, to do the job, right? And to keep the work coming in. But it's a fine line between selling an actual product that is a marketable thing to just showing off.
Yes.
And
There's not big hawking, and I try to avoid
but that's
just.
a generational thing. You're talking like an old man.
Right.
Everything is all plumage.
Right.
It's all feathers.
Right.
It's all, and I go on Instagram.
Yeah.
There's some pig.
Yeah.
And I love her. I don't even know. She's Russian, but she has 6 million followers, and she doesn't do shit.
Yeah.
She just gets her asshole waxed.
Yeah.
And I'll wait.
Yes.
I'm waiting.
I set the alarm. Well, let's do this.
So it's a peacock generation.
It is, and that's the thing, and it's a weird thing. I can understand why people.
I fuck everything.
Yeah.
There was a kid
That should be your Instagram tag.
I fuck anything.
I fuck everything.
Don't yawn around me. I'll make a mess.
Mud Dart Central.
Well, but we're in New Brunswick. That's great. What are you doing? Fucking hockey arenas with all your bullshit?
Yeah. I've never heard it put better.
They're hockey arena bullshit.
You're doing hockey arenas with your bullshit.
How's your hockey arena bullshit tour going?
How do you turn over, like, being in the British comedy scene, you've come out of like a Navy SEAL training camp for comedy. You do one Edinburgh festival, you're 10 years ahead of every comic in the world.
Yeah.
Because you can perform 3-4 nights times a night.
Yeah.
And it's just
Repetition.
And of course, the other thing is, of course, that it's the hardest. London audiences are hard. They're not. The thing with around here is people come out to.
They're rooting for you.
They are. They want you to succeed. In London, it's the opposite. They don't want you to succeed. They
must want to take you home after shows.
Well, it's a lovely, warm feeling here, which I do think that if I started here, there's no way that I would. But you couldn't be. I don't think you can start here and become I'm not saying I'm a very good comic, but I'm just saying I think it would be hard to become a very good comic starting here because the audiences come out wanting to laugh. Whereas in London, nothing makes you stronger than these. Everyone comes out with their own
it's a huge galvanization process, man.
They just want to be. I remember I moved here in February 2014. I went for a showcase for Breslin.
Yeah.
And went in and ran up and was like, boom, 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 boom. And he was like, okay, first of all, slow the fuck down. He goes, I know why you do that. And it's because in London, if you don't get a laugh, they're going to boo you off.
Right.
He was like, you've got time here.
Yeah.
Take your time. Enjoy it. Like, you don't have to hit them immediately. And
that's what we wanted coming
English
out.
are finicky. It took a repetition that I had from playing shitty bars, which were good comedy pubs. Hence the place that you had. I went in there, I was like, oh, man. And then showtime, everyone's sitting with their drinks, everybody's waiting. They've come out they paid to get in on a weekday to watch comedy. And you develop there's a value on it. Yeah. So you tend to be a little more, you have to deliver or it could be violent.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing. I mean, if they hate you, like here, if they don't enjoy you, they will smile politely.
Yes.
Whereas in London, if they hate you, you fucking know about it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's funny. I mean, right? They are so mean. I mean, but it's interesting how this particular club.
You want that though.
Yeah, you do. Yeah. I mean, around the same time
that's why I turn on them. I become, if they're indifferent and passive, I become excessively aggressive.
Oh yeah. Oh fuck yeah.
I'd rather leave then. Let's go.
Yeah.
Get out. What?
Yeah.
No. What?
Absolutely.
I try to throw people out all the time.
It's the best way to handle it.
If it's not going well, I will not go quietly. I don't give a fuck. Yeah. Some of the rooms we trained in, like Kenny's room, where they had a spotlight that if you stopped moving, it would go the fuck out. It would be darkness. So you're just waving around and all that kind of stuff, full of winos and people screaming at you.
Great pinnacle of my career. Yeah, that was there was people didn't go down in that basement.
No, man.
For good
you
reason.
wanted to develop, though.
Yeah, we'd show up there every week. There was,
was sitting
you know,
there-
Kenny Robinson.
Yeah, oh yes, yeah. He had a room to
He had a place in a pub at Bloor and
Sherburn.
in the basement of
Groundhog.
Groundhog Pub, and it went on for years.
Yeah.
But it was like Fight Club down there. There was
Yeah.
no feelings.
It used
No
to be
feelings.
you do some amateur spots, and then you're like, I like to go out west, get my head kicked in a bit, and see what happens, you know. And then that didn't have to happen anymore because I
Yeah.
just do Kenny's room.
Yeah.
Kenny's like 3 times this month. I'm good.
Yes, and it was brutal. Actually, you remember that really attractive blonde lady that worked at the bar there?
Yeah.
She came to my house, my gig at the Ice House in Pasadena with her husband.
Awesome.
Yeah, it was cool. She
Awesome.
looks great, and
Right
I
on.
think they have some kids and stuff. It was so weird.
But
She's
that's
like,
the-
oh, we love the.
that's the development and,
she was a bartender. She goes, that was so much fun working there. It was madhouse. Guy
fuck
OD'd
yeah.
on heroin, and right after the hospital came to the open mic with his hospital band on, and got a standing ovation.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was that
Yeah.
kind of place. Fights. There was
Yeah.
a lot of. It was roadhouse comedy.
Oh, yeah.
And I always be thankful for that.
Oh my God! You'd
Yeah.
sit there. I remember sitting there starving, like I was broke.
Yeah, well, we got
And,
money.
Yeah, $25
Kenny gave you money. We were
for the
getting
best
no
set.
money. Yeah,
And I remember sitting there, kind of going, "I need this fucking money." You know what
Yeah.
I mean? And I'm going to take the subway home like a king. I
Yeah.
rollerblade everywhere at that point, right?
I remember that.
Like 6'4" and 150
And he's married
pounds.
with kids.
Good for
We didn't
you.
even know.
Awesome. But I remember going, "I'm leaving with this money tonight."
Yeah.
And you know, you got to have the hunger and the development. And you mix those
And it
two.
cut off all the dead weight because
Yeah.
there's nobody in that room that didn't want to do comedy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that is literally one of the most beautiful things about this industry, which again, you know, I mean, ultimately, even in the places where it's easy, it's not easy anywhere.
No.
And what I love about this job, and I think this is why all comics have a bond and why put us in any dressing room, we're all going to become friends, is because you've got to really love this to have gone through the years
Yeah.
of shit we went through. To be able to do it for a living.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The purge. Whereas to use that same example from earlier, like people do fall into acting jobs, CEO jobs,
Yeah.
bank job, and also nepotism can work in every other industry. This is the one industry where it can't. No one can fake making people laugh.
No.
So yeah,
No.
it's a wonderful thing. Actually, just
Purest
to go through
thing
that.
there is.
Is Scott? Are you there?
He hung
Do
himself.
you mind taking a picture before I have to go and pick up my kids?
This is for the police report. You got a bottle of scotch in the armrest and piss all over your pants saver car mats. This should pick it up. I love it. I love it. See, I look like a criminal. He is. You know what? That's what. Yeah.
Charming English.
I was going the wrong way on the bloody wrong road. Oh, a spoonful of sugar and off we go.
You're going to do some crime? Well, comb your hair, for God's sake.
But I'm sure you're probably sick of the accents dropped on you.
I actually don't mind it at all.
Well, I have a friend who doesn't
gonna
take it
say.
kindly.
I think because my people haven't suffered years of racism, it doesn't bother me. But it does. There's a part of me. This is fucking terrible thing to say. Part of me does think because I do get it a lot. Everyone impersonates my accent all the time, and I quite like. Right. Right. But
Kind of faggy.
kind of yeah, definitely really.
Sorry, camp.
Yeah, camp. Yeah.
You're sitting there with your legs crossed, and Paul's got his arm around you. You guys, what are you guys? Your periods aligning? You fucking whores.
Absolutely.
Come over and pour some whiskey on these 2 chicks over here. I'm ready to fuck. Light one on fire.
Me.
You're drunk.
The people that do
There-
so many people
How many
do-
children did you have?
2. But I think
We know that.
I'll
Yeah.
find out when I start picking them up.
Yeah.
But
There's a lot of kids in this car. Holy shit.
Enough people do my accent that there's a part of me, and this is so wrong. Part of me thinks, well, I don't know why everyone always complains about people doing other accents. Doesn't bother me.
Yeah.
But then my people haven't suffered years of racism.
But there is probably a Canadian way.
Thanks for that.
It's probably a little more It's probably like as light as you're gonna get, as far as.
I mean, that's the,
Yeah.
Well, there's the big difference.
Oh, I have some friends from Ireland.
Right. That's
I'm
it.
from London. Is that near Ireland? I'm retarded.
Here's. I mean, I do. This is why I basically wanted to move here. Was I would come and visit here. And my wife's from here.
It's the only place they don't point at an uncircumcised cock.
Two things.
Mudflap Joe.
They hear a foreign accent here. They go, "Oh my God, you're from England. Oh my God, well, it's so nice to meet you." Whereas 15, you know what it's like. 15 years of my wife living in London. If people hear her accent, they just get dirty looks like, "Oh, fucking American, what are you doing here?"
Yeah.
And yet here, someone hears a foreign accent like, "Oh my God, are you not from here? Nice, welcome."
Yeah.
England, it's the opposite. It's like, "What the fuck are you doing here?"
Why? Because there's sex offenders here, and they're rapist a culture. So they're always trying to bring in new meat because they've been banging their kids face to face. You're in a big mess of trouble. I'm here to get you out. We gotta go. We gotta go. We need to get your drunk kids.
There's a lot going on there.
You saying kids just reminded me of something I've got to do, and I can't.
Let me roll another condom down. This hardwood.
I'm not gonna pick up my kids. Rouse,
Gotta go. Yeah, buddy.
So nice to
Are you
meet
going to be around this weekend?
I am. I'm going to try and come by.
Please do.
I'm supposed to be.
Awesome to meet you,
Oh,
man.
you too, man. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
You're performing tonight and tomorrow as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
What day is it?
Try James. Up.
Shit, sorry.
You try some water.
Yeah. Before I get to the school. Man,
Yeah,
nice to see you.
very nice to see you.
It was an epic show last night. So
We're gonna have a blast. Sold out tomorrow.
You'll have a lot of fun with Shane, obviously, great guy.
yeah.
So you're gonna have a blast.
I can't wait, man.
Nice one. And so, it was really,
No, not at all. It was nice.
People barge into a podcast and then sit between the two people.
You know what's even worse is when they talk off mic in a fucking circle like some asshole.
You're right. Thanks very much. I love you guys. Take care. Bye.
Go tell your family you love them.
I better suck a mint first, though.
What does that mean?
He's dry heaving.
Yes.
That was our local janitor, everybody, Higgins.
I love Higgy.
Oh, Higgy, he'd tuck you in and kiss you on the neck.
Yes, you little.
I think you were going to mention another moment, I call them like teeth-cutting moments where you, as a comic, you come across a show, you get there, and it's like, oh fuck, we have to deliver here, or we could get in some shit. And I'm talking, of course, that gig up north with Mr.
Oh,
Zed.
yes. We go and do a bar where there was a bunch of bikers and elderly people on holiday.
Yeah.
It was Clash of the Titans, but I think we ended up doing 2 shows there.
Yeah.
I think it dissipated
Yeah.
near the end. I think they were just too drunk.
They're very,
But
very
it was
drunk.
packed.
They're packed, and
It was like a couple hundred, maybe 300 people in Wawa, Ontario.
Yeah.
Zed Lackard set up a gig. I think I still have that photo from when we took outside of the venue.
I still got it. It's
And,
Satan's Choice bikers in the lot.
Yeah, there was a bike
like 50
club
of them.
and the elderly people, and then Zed Lacker's mom telling the bikers to shut up, and they were quiet.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were quiet. Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And it was weird. Yeah, those northern Ontario shows in general can be pretty jarring. It's a different thing going on in these small towns and anywhere in Canada. Maybe probably most places in the world where they have their own kind of communication and rules.
That was a real benchmark for myself anyway, like just thinking of...
Yeah, well, we drove
there.
People paid to get in. Yeah.
Yep.
And we were in a hotel. It had all the kind of cornerstones of what stand-up comedy was going to turn into.
Except no money.
No money, yeah. Well, that's we're still working on trying to get those pay raises from 1989. I don't think there's been a pay raise. Like, the cost of living goes up, but the pay scales in most clubs in North America, I don't think they've really changed. Unless you got a hit TV show or a movie where you just kind of go in and take the room.
Yeah.
Flat out.
Very ignorant to...
No middle class.
No knowledge of
There's no more middle class, and it's showing in entertainment.
Yeah.
Middle class people can't afford it because now they're the poor people. And the rich people are going to theaters to see stadium comics.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's really it.
Yeah. And these smaller towns are becoming a little bit bigger, and then they develop the
Who wants to
need
see
for a
some
big
cunt
arena.
in a theater?
What?
You want to come to a shoebox where I am, rubbing my face up against the wall so I feel something before I go on.
Yeah, exactly.
Malachi.
Black coffee. I love it.
Oh man,
But like,
those help. Those tough gigs.
but I still have these moments of, melt her down, reforge, rebuild, that kind of thing. I was at Club 54 like a month ago, something like that. This is quick, easy money. It's right in my neighborhood. So it's like, yeah, okay,
you'd be
man.
foolish not to.
Yeah, I go over
They're
there.
sitting the right way and there's a stage.
Yeah, but it was good because I'm 10 minutes in. My brain's like, fuck this, man. This is a joke. You can't be doing this stuff. And then another dude wakes up in my head and he's like, oh, no. I'm not going fucking quietly here, man. I'm not going fucking quietly. He's going to not pay me because I won't do the full time. I had to do 30 minutes. End up doing like 42 just to pave it over.
Yeah, stop
and
it
at one
out.
point, this table's totally fucking ignoring me, and I can't believe it. And in one of these things, it's like, don't get angry. Don't get angry. Starting to get a little angry. And I just go over with my stupid thumb cock, pull that out of the thing, and I started dicking this dude in the back, right? Until he turns around and watches the show.
Yeah.
And this whole table starts to get down on it. And I'm like, hey, man, I'm going to tell you something. I'm like a comic ninja, dad by day kind of thing. And if you think I'm going fucking quietly here, dream on. And it's I call on the wah-wah and other growth moments where it's just like, oh, yeah, no. Got to rise to it.
Yeah, totally rise to it. And why not?
Yeah.
It's so easy to be the guy who fucking just pulls the pin.
Yeah.
And it's that's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Just to light the tables on fire, but to stand and deliver and just commit.
Yeah.
Full commitment. Go down with the ship or either just be the captain.
Yeah. I've had it where it just creeps down into Awkward Town, and then you build back up out of that.
I started Awkward Town. I don't know why I'm such a sabotager. My friend, somebody told me a long time ago, the hardest thing about you is you can't open for yourself. Everything is so much hurt. It's like someone throwing a dead cat on you about 50 times, and it's wet, and then they squirt the juice from the bag in your mouth, and you're trying to sing. Oh, God, this cat juice. Would that be terrible for you?
What's
a dead
that?
cat on your back, like a juicy dead cat.
Whoa.
You were sitting, you're at New York Fries in the mall with your kids.
Is it wet or is it dry?
It's wet.
It's wet?
It's been in a rain bucket for a week and it's bloated.
In my state of mind, am I high at this point? Or
No,
am I...
I don't want you high.
No.
I knew it was going to be on drugs. When it's my story, there's no high. You're straight and you're smiling right now. Now it's worse.
Yeah.
Are you happy?
It's very bad.
Are you happy? You're getting dead cat the way I do it.
Whoa.
You're not high.
This is not Kevin's custom dead cat emporium.
No.
I'll take your dead cat. Sure, man.
No, just draped. And then the paws come down on either side of your shoulder and the juice. And then I spit a mouthful of cat juice in your kid's face and go, how's that for salt and vinegar?
Whew, that would be...
Would you get retchy? Because as soon as that cat laid across your neck, hot, wet, dead cat.
Might get a little wet, Richie, yeah. You'd feel the head logged down, and it would reek.
And then remember that guy in Raiders of the Lost Ark? Throw me the whip, throw the idol?
Yeah.
And then he comes back and he's got the skewer, the pool cues through his face. That's what the cat's face looks like. And then you go to shake it off and it's so rotten, it goes to the Nazi melt face. The cat head slides off.
Jaw logs
and then you're
over,
just left with the
mouth opens and shit comes out or something.
the worst, the worst fleshlight ever.
Fleshlight ever.
It's the worst fleshlight. Oh, meow meow.
Why did I let the cat out of the bag? Well, because I can't drape it on you if I don't let it out of the bag.
It's that brown red juice in the bag. That's where the good stuff is. That's
the
cat
odor
drip.
the odor would get me more.
Yeah,
most of all.
Even eyeball out.
Eyeball out, I don't have a problem with that. Yeah, I don't mind that. I don't mind an eyeball out.
A lot of people won't do eyeball out, but smell.
I used to watch my grandfather just totally gut a fish, and he would start there. And he would stick it in your eye and then down. And then he would,
flay it.
Throw the guts
Then
elsewhere.
fuck it in front of us.
Yeah, and then there's that.
Clean your room.
After it was smoked, a little more firmer after that.
He would get some piano wire, wrap it around the head of his cock, and bang his head on a half-filleted tuna.
Absolutely.
He's He wrestled in the 60s, but he never came back from it.
He never did come back. He
Doing
tried.
his deer hunter impressions in the basement.
Stick his cock in the fish gill and walk around with it. People are impressed for a while. Yeah, a rabbit would be creepy too, because then you'd be like, you're trying to deal with it, right? You're like, okay, here's this dead rabbit. It's on me.
Dead
Here
rabbit
comes the
would be
head.
so bad. I don't know. There's something about sinister about a rotting cat. I think it's the fangs. It
Yeah.
automatically adds more horror to it, I think.
Yeah, the fangs are pretty scary, actually.
Rabbit teeth, they're like,
Yeah.
bad slipper.
We found a dead cat when I was a kid. It was just all skeleton, and it obviously
Sorry
a
about
snake.
that.
It was just like frozen forever, wide open claw mouth. Yeah,
Was
it's
it
pretty
standing?
terrifying. It was
laying.
No, it was clearly cornered. It
I
was,
remember the Hamilton Fire Department had got in trouble. Maybe it was Stony Creek Fire Department, but they'd taken the animals that were died of smoke inhalation
Right.
in the house, and during the really cold winter, and stood the animals up on the front lawn like they were waiting for them to come home. So the house is just a smoldering mess, and all their pets are.
Oh my god!
And I think either somebody had taken a photograph or it was in the paper.
Oh.
And they got in a big stink about it.
Yeah.
But, that's macabre. What is it? Gallows humor.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean? They should allow these guys to play with the dead bodies.
Yeah.
But that's why I'm not mayor.
Well, this is what was that comedy troupe in World War I or whatever? They were rescue dudes. They would go in and get bodies and get them out of there, and they would do that. They would put on skits with these
Based on their
You
thing.
know?
Yeah, well, it's certainly
it's a way to deal with it.
Self-therapy, right?
Yeah, that's your dealing
Because
with it.
when you're dealing with life's horrors, I've talked to so many firefighters, and they're in blood and guts all the time. Life's extreme conditions and circumstances on so many different levels, and they embrace it.
Yeah,
It's a that's why I think things like that where there's no room for bullshit,
yeah.
and error is on you.
Oh yeah.
There's a sense of responsibility and consequence.
Yes, absolutely.
And I think I don't know what it is. I'm always been attracted to people that subscribe to those kind of things, like do what you say and things like that. I don't know. Maybe it's a lost
it's good.
thing. I try and.
It's another pure thing to know.
A lot of people don't subscribe to my shit.
You sound like I've got a book of names that a lot of people don't to know.
There's there's a handful of people I like to send some newsletters to. More death threats with an instructional video on how to fucking hang themselves.
Oh, yeah.
Hanging.
I know what you're talking
Speaking
about.
of suicide, we've had a bunch of our friends kill themselves.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, who was first?
Ed Pollock.
No.
No. Brett Weir? Do you remember a guy
Brett
named
Weir
Brett
was
Weir?
a little outside of my generation. I
Yeah.
kind of come to Toronto.
I didn't really...
I feel terrible forgetting it.
JT.
Huntley.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if he did, but I think he did,
Okay, maybe I'm talking on my ass. I should
No,
probably,
no,
but
no,
I
no.
was told that he,
It's a theory I subscribe to, though.
and yeah, well,
Well, he had a history of heart thing in his family. Males hit 38 and they explode kind of thing.
okay.
And so he was doing things to bring that on, which is, for me, that's a slow form of suicide. Like
yeah,
it's a ticking
probably
time bomb.
self-sabotage, but he was nothing but nice to me.
Yeah, yeah, oh yeah. Oh
He
yeah,
was
for
always
sure.
a nice guy. I'd never seen him in he was very kind of passive,
Yeah.
gentle soul.
Yeah, for sure.
And I don't know, maybe I was my naivety, my
Yeah.
lack of reading.
Yeah.
Might have I
Book
would,
learning.
yeah, I don't know, because he was gay
Yeah. Yeah.
and
He came out in a weird time. I want to say, you don't want to say,
but again, coming out with the comics sounds so fucking cliche.
yeah.
Well, coming out in general, that's your personal decision, but
Yeah.
to tell comics that you're fang, we're like, what? So?
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
do you have any good drugs?
Yeah.
Because I heard gay people have the best shit.
Cock, yes. How's my hair? Is it, what do you think?
Does this ponytail on my mole on my neck look stupid?
Well, I remember with people being so ignorant, I remember when Ed came out, working with him, you're wondering if he's going to do the straight stuff or not. Do whatever you want, and it's my thing.
Yeah, well, he came out.
I'll get your
Mark
back.
Breslin encouraged him to do that. Like, Mark
Yeah.
always encouraged people to be themselves.
Yes.
And that's one thing I'll always be grateful for is
Yeah.
he indirectly created a kind of a monster.
Yeah.
He never put any things on it. And Ed coming out gay, Mark, it wasn't something that he was doing half-heartedly. He
Yeah.
was like, you have any problems with
Yeah.
being a queer in
Yeah.
my business, you call me.
Yeah.
We'll see who the faggot is
Yeah.
then. You're
Yeah.
all fired.
Yeah, exactly.
For lack of cocksucking. Right?
Hit the bricks.
So,
Yeah, you have to gig. We talk about gigging a lot to get to a certain point, and you have to be yourself, and you don't really know what that means when you start.
yeah.
My favorite quote of all time, there's a lot of quotes, but Miles Davis says, you have to play a long time to be able to play like yourself.
Totally.
Perfect. And you don't really fully get that until you got a couple thousand gigs under your belt.
Totally, and it's an ongoing process, and there's stages of your life where you're more productive than others, but because there's life involved, and
Yeah.
there's certain things that are avoidable,
Yeah.
and but this is like it was a life changer for me. I don't know, it was.
Life maker.
Yeah, most definitely.
You
And
know.
but the shows I started off in Vancouver on this trip. But doing this thing, I'm doing some shit around town. I'm so happy to be here. Abbotsford was a fucking nightmare.
Yeah.
A crazy, we'll call it a fan
Okay.
for immunity.
Right.
Was banging on my door until the security came to grab her. And then she took a swing at the girl behind the counter and hit the security guy, arrested. Jai Harris watched the whole thing go down. I sat in my room because I've dealt with crazy before.
Wow.
And she farted on the sidewalk in handcuffs. I'm hoping bare-assed.
Yeah. More sound, right? Little
And all that.
flapper. Wow.
So Vancouver was great. Good shows. Killer staff. I love that club.
Yeah.
And then went over to Abbotsford. Terrible. I don't know what they're thinking.
Yeah.
Calgary, great. Unfortunately, they found a little bit of marijuana and some tobacco on my table in my hotel room,
Oh.
which I clearly saw. I just who cares?
Like left
And-
behind.
Yeah.
Okay.
When I went, and then now they've charged me for smoking in the room, $200. So I won't be back in Edmonton ever.
Oh.
There'll be no more Edmonton shows.
Ugh. What the
I quit before they fired me.
Oh my God.
I'm like, if we're having this conversation, I can't keep the money. Forget about it. I don't care.
Yeah.
But nothing against the staff. Are all there are lovely.
Yeah.
Very nice. Very nice.
Excellent.
Had fun. But and then I've been visiting my family, Paul.
Right on, man. Your brother? How's your brother, man?
I haven't talked to my brother in years.
Oh yeah.
We had a falling out.
Oh.
Nothing serious.
Yeah.
Just different views on
Yeah.
how to spend time.
Right. Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah.
He's not a druggie or a liar or lazy.
Yeah.
He's just selfish.
Gotcha. Yeah. I got a falling out thing going on. Yeah.
It's weird.
I'm good with it.
Yeah, I'm fine. That's why I'm making an effort with parts of my family that are receptive to my time and me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I can't crowbar myself into, we've all been through enough bad relationships where you're just trying to put square peg in a round hole
Yep.
over and over. Why won't this fit?
Hey.
I'm not happy.
Why would you
write material for me? Yeah. Just nonsense. So it's, you just, hanging with people make you feel good, Paul.
Yeah, man. And put the bags down.
You got a
Fuck, man.
best friend and a little guy.
Yeah.
Young man.
Yeah.
How old is he?
He's going to be 4, June 17th.
Oh, that's cool. He can walk.
He can walk. He
It's
doesn't.
cool. You can get around with him. You're not blown out back from hauling this
Yeah.
kid around.
Oh, last year I blew out a calf muscle. I couldn't walk. I was on crutches for a bit. I opened the back gate. I'm like, yeah, let's go for a jaunt in the park. Me and the kid. Yeah, all right. Takes off like a husky for the horizon. Like just, wait.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck, he's
Especially
gone.
with no fear.
Yeah.
You got to love that. He's running like he's got no arms.
Yeah.
I
That's the biggest thing for me when he hurts himself. I'm just kind of like, what? Straight face.
used to love running in the park.
Love it. It's fucking fantastic.
Smell of fall leaves and a running jogger
Yeah.
trying to get away from you. But you drag her down to the leaves and roll down her leg warmers because it's the 80s.
Yeah. Sweet 86.
Turn her over and realize you're in the wrong park.
This
It's
is not-
Seniors Day down at the fucking Tivoli Avenue.
You're not my private dancer after all.
I'm going to die alone. I'm going to die alone. I'm going to die alone. I'm already starting to look at plots.
Plots? Where to go?
Like grave plots.
You
I
playing
think
yourself?
I'll put together a little project where people can buy tickets to my funeral.
We go that route?
No, because I want to get reanimated.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I never really talked about this on public, but yeah. I want to to take my consciousness and put it into like a giant meat grinder.
Yes.
And I just mow down society.
And put it in casings and
And
twist
yeah,
it?
hot dog people shoot out the back.
Yeah.
Well, you probably thought about your mortality now having a kid.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
How does that? Because I can't.
My big thing right
You
now?
can see how your genes carry, but you're genetically, through nature, invested in this
Yep.
in a way that you can't.
I'm fully just getting my head around the whole enormity of the whole thing.
Don't fuck this up. There's too many shitty kids out there.
Holy fuck. No, my big thing now is the value of maybe another kid, right?
I'm yelling at you to be a good parent.
Yeah.
I'm tired of dealing with these cunts in the mall. They're very aggressive. Very aggressive.
They're cunts, though. Each and every one of them are steamy clams. But if he had a sibling, he wouldn't be alone in life, because when I pass on or whatever, what's he going to do? And I always talk to him like a normal
Hang out with
dude.
his dirty Uncle
Yeah,
Rouse. You ever
yeah.
finger a gopher, kid?
Yeah.
Go get your helmet. I want to show you something. Your father would have wanted it this way. He's a biter, but we're going to bag his head for you.
Take the seat off your bike. I want to show you something. This is going
You
to
ever
be
do
good.
the stairs in a handstand? Oh,
Your dad's a huge pussy. I'm going to just do this. Just do it. Just
drink
do it.
this.
Yeah.
Hold this gun. I got to take a shit.
Which shed would you like to be in? Just,
What's your son's name?
Ethan. Yeah. But I've always talked to him like a real person, right? We look around like we're in our house. I'm like, this is your house, dude. It's like, this is your house. So
Dig in.
know that.
Yeah.
And I always tell him, like, because I left.
Gives a sense of security to have an anchor.
Yeah. I was 17 when I left.
I was 15.
Yeah.
I was
Just
asked, and I get it. It sucks because
Yeah.
you have no skills
Yeah.
and a ton of nervous energy. You're trying to keep your cock folded in your pocket
Yeah.
just to get through a day.
Yeah. It's windy.
And your peers are retards.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I remember being, in high school, last 2 years of high school, pretty much, in my own apartment, and your friends, you're just ahead of them in life. Maybe you don't want to be where you're at, but you
That's
are
how
where you're
I
at.
think poor people look at it, or rich people look at us.
What's
Like just sad.
Yes.
I thought about that because there's a hierarchy clearly in some sort of animal kingdom thing that okay, I'm clearly more intelligent than everyone in this room.
Yeah.
I have some moral or something of value to humanity that exceeds this dynamic.
Yeah.
And That's how I think really rich people look.
Yeah.
They look, I can buy humanity.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I'll go dump $1 million in charity today.
You know what, I'm not-
And then they'll give me a ribbon and a thing,
Yeah.
and they're in their hate fucking babies into a wood chipper.
Yes. Yes.
You know,
Yeah.
that's what I'm gonna do.
yeah. It's
Bait and switch, buddy. But yeah, sitting in your studio apartment with these fucking nicotine-stained scumbags.
Yeah. And they're like, oh, this is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Oh, your own apartment. Yeah. I'm like, what's your hydro bill?
Yeah.
What?
I came here in a kayak.
What do you think you eat in a month, dollar-wise?
No, there's no, there's no foresight. It's all about now because there's nothing there. That's why you get those are the kind of girls I end up dating that are so self-imploding.
Did that survival gene help you in
Navigate? Yeah. It helped me be tough enough to be in a situation that I shouldn't even have been in.
Yes.
You know what I mean? I shouldn't have been there. I shouldn't have been invested in this. This was, in hindsight, usually a bad situation right from the go. And just because you can take or weather the storm doesn't make it a good thing.
Yeah. Yes, you can take it. Do you have to?
That's right. And then, I'm like, it's filling up fast.
Yeah.
You've clearly don't want to make this work. But, again, it's you'd have to take somebody that was crazy to be on this side of the fence anyway.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
there's no, anyway.
I think there's that. I think there's, I think the comics, the good ones, know early in life that's what they'd like to be, and they kind of see that and not much else, and it's just like, no, I'm going to survive all this horseshit because I got to get over here. Flip side of that is, like where I'm at, I'm like, because I was on the street for sure. I lived in youth hostels. Dave Martin used to drop me off at Turning Point Youth Hostel after doing, Rakoff had a room, I forget where it was, in Yorkville. Just an open mic night, but you do get tired, you know what I mean? It's like, oh my God, how did I get here?
Yeah, you got to start widening those circles to the bad, especially when things start showing up repetitively, and you're like, I'm scratching my head, I'm in this situation again. Well, I got to stop doing these 3 things because it seems to be bringing me back here, or whatever it may be, a series of events.
Yeah.
But that's you're 150 like me?
Yeah, at least.
So,
yeah.
But I think in
vampires,
in considering, over the last almost 20 years that I've known you, we've come out okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've been always like, the cliche, I hope you make it and stuff. And I'm like, I already did it. I already made it after the first year I was in.
Yeah.
I was in. That's it for me, The other things it's all gravy, but I would not change anything. And those Toronto shows were some of the highlights of my life.
For sure.
Every weekend we'd all pool in there and try and make the perfect storm. So
yeah,
but that's cool. And this is so weird. James had stumbled in here drunk to go beat his wife later or something.
And with one of his kids,
with his kids and stuff. And you were here, and we're all in the same city, and we're doing comedy, and that's the best.
Yeah, man.
Isn't it cool?
It's fucking
I'm really
awesome.
stoked. We're gonna have some fun tonight.
Yeah.
We're both doing gigs in the same town, which is like cool.
Mega blast.
And you are performing at Chuckles.
Yep.
Where can people? Because I'm going to post this.
Yeah, they can go to chucklescomedyclub.ca and get all the info there. And I'm looking forward to it. I haven't played it before, but looking forward to it, man.
You're going to do it. You're going to have a blast.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah.
They're a little shit corked, but they're amped. They're
Yeah, man.
excited. Just a matter of Anyway, whatever.
Just go in there and take it.
Yeah, you're gonna have a blast.
Set it on fire.
I'm at the Yuck Yucks, and where can people find you? You have social media, Twitter,
yeah, I'm on
Facebook.
I'm on Twitter. The real at the Paul Haywood, Twitter, Facebook, paulhaywood.ca. Yeah, and everywhere.
Yeah, man.
Instagram as well, same thing.
Yeah.
All that kind of stuff.
I'm gonna be back in Toronto
Yeah.
at the end of the month. Let's hang out.
Sweet, man. Yeah.
I'm gonna be there from May 14th to June 1st.
To June 1st.
So almost a couple of weeks there.
Why don't you come float some logs in the hot tub?
Yeah,
In the
I'd love
Burl.
to. I love a hot tub.
Yeah.
In the Burlington, maybe on the Wednesday or something, I'm going to go surprise my mother for Mother's Day. You tell anybody, I'll kill you.
I will.
No one knows I have a mother.
Yeah.
No, it's so weird. You know, I know I can't even get into that. I can't even get into that. I was going to tell a story. I can't. There's certain things
That
as
came up and
people,
you just-
and
yeah.
I do appreciate the listeners. And I'm all over the place. I'm like kind of crazy a bit.
Sure.
You know what I mean? I found out that I'm out last night doing my thing, and then I'm buying kimchi.
Oh, yes.
In kale with two other middle-aged guys during the day with the elderly.
Well, I got
Is this apricot jam for sale? Does this keep my hand from shaking?
Is this a probiotic? My insides are rotting. Can I
So-
shit it out with this?
I don't
Yes,
want
you
to pass that blood term.
kimchi. Fuck, I used to work at Fork Chops right down the knob from the club.
I remember that. I only started eating kimchi. We're talking about the same hooker, right?
yeah,
Kimchi?
Yeah, that's right.
The guy you fuck in the bag?
Yeah, with the dual plumbing, right?
Yeah, he's got dual plumbing.
That kind of it was handy for one thing.
I have...
the kimchi was my big joke. I'd take it out of the cupboard. I'm like, I think the ice cream's gone. What do you think? Endless laughs. Endless.
Well, they didn't know what was going on. No one spoke English in there except you. You're in there doing your slapstick comedy, and they're like, he's a genius.
Oh, you're
we
funny.
love Jerry Lewis.
Funny boy, broccoli crown. Do it. Sorry, I will. Put the carrot down. Not a microphone. Okay, look, I have a dream. You fry your cock on the grill again, you're fired. Okay, look. Fine.
The server working that is terrible. Yeah. But anyway,
Yes.
we're going to go get baked.
Yeah, man. Absolutely.
Do you think James hits his wife?
I think he does with that same laugh.
Don't kiss me on the mouth. Don't ask if you're hurting me. And if you hear the safe word, stop what you're doing immediately. Do you have pantyhose?